Hi folks, I'm Warbass. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. If you've been here for the little bit that I've been posting these kind of videos where I actually talk about my music making process, thank you for being here. I'm trying to use this space to become a better musician. I don't particularly have any goals or motivations to become a music educator or to help evangelize a particular method. I'm not trying to spread the great word of modular synthesis or synthesizers in general, or even a genre. I've noticed that since I've started to talk about the way I make music, that I've also gotten more feedback on my music itself and become a better musician in the process. I think it has exposed and opened me up to a larger peer group of musicians here on YouTube that has helped me improve, taught me some new things. And my goal for this space and this kind of conversation is really just to myself improve as a musician and continue doing that. I think the rigor of trying to put out a video a week, which I haven't been perfect at, but aiming for that has helped motivate me personally. I think most of the comments I've gotten have been very helpful. Some have taught me specific things that I didn't realize. Some have exposed me to new ideas or thoughts or methods, which has been fantastic. I think the value exchange between a musician and an audience, or musician and other musicians, is significantly different than it was when I started making music 15 years ago, maybe longer, 20 years ago. And I want to try and use this space to, maybe in a selfish way, become a better musician by engaging in that process. I don't really have any plans to do a tutorial video. I don't have any plans to do a review of a piece of gear. If I do get into a very gear specific video space, I am trying to do it from the perspective of what a piece of equipment enables me to accomplish and why I like to use it within my process. I don't particularly feel motivated or the need to try and spread that process or make other people also follow that process. I was listening to a podcast recently about someone who held their specific method of music production very close to the chest, where they didn't want to share it because they were still using it, which felt really strange to me. I think creating and trying to make something in public is a much more fruitful and motivating and rewarding experience than, being a hermit with a process or a method and trying to keep it too close to the chest. I want to use this space to become better at the kind of music that I want to make. To me personally, that is right now focused on live performance. I have almost zero desire to put together an album or to songwrite or to try and tell a specific story that I've been thinking about. I am not one who's trying to convey a specific emotion, even necessarily, or maybe even consciously. But I do really, really, really want to improve as a live, primarily improvisational electronic musician. That's my goal for this space right now. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be all the time, but right now that's my goal. I think the most rewarding thing for me in this kind of channel so far, since I've started talking to not to the camera, but talking along with the camera, has been the live set that I did a couple weeks ago. It's like one of my least watched videos, but I don't think I would have progressed in the design of my two cases or the way I used them without the rigor of trying to create a video of value and share something, and also get feedback on that thing and learn about another thing that I might have not thought about, that pushed me to the point where I'm able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish in something. There's a big difference to me in being able to, like, as a drawer, which I'm not somebody who can draw very well, I can picture something on a canvas, but getting my hand to go do that thing, those are two very different things. To me, with electronic music or the music I want to make, there's a big difference between being able to, like, think it in my head or imagine it, or not necessarily literally hear it, but plan out a process or sound in real time and then make that thing happen. And part of that, I think, just comes through practice with an instrument and getting to know an instrument really, really well. I personally think modular synthesis is a way that really, really enables my particular way of creating and my particular way of thinking about music, thinking about composition, about sequencing, about progression, themes, textures, those kinds of things I feel most able to accomplish in my particular set of synthesizers behind me. And I want to continue to use this space to push that forwards. So one of the things that I'm contemplating, and maybe this is a question that I'm posing in this video, or maybe I just need to talk myself into doing this. I think in the synthesizer internet community, the use of the phrase jam has always been something that kind of rubbed me weirdly, and thus kind of despised the concept of Jamuary. I think it's hard for me to express a musical idea in something that would be as short as something that I would consider to be a typical jam video. And the rigor, though, of something like Jamuary, of trying to create something daily and push yourself to continue to make and improve your skills, is valuable, though. For me, since the skill that I really want to work on most right now is live composition, not for the sake necessarily of a simple song idea that is a part, but the live piece of music is the music. That's it, like, full stop. That's the end product. I made it in real time, printed it to, a stereo track, and that's it. My current, maybe dumb idea is to, on the other, I guess, perfectly halfway between two Januaries, is to embark on my own little personal mission that in my head I've been calling Julive, where not necessarily live streamed, but throughout the month, I try and push myself to record as many live sets as I possibly can. Ideally, that means daily. I don't know if that would mean a video daily or if that would mean just music daily. To me, a live set is something that is long enough that it would work in a public setting. I think at least right now, half an hour per set. Ideally, I would love them to be much closer to an hour per set. Not every set is necessarily the same genre or purpose, but I think for the singular goal I have, the kind of mission statement for me with this space of forcing myself to have rigor to my process by requiring my brain to synthesize an idea enough to talk about it and form an opinion about my own work enough to talk about it. And since the place that I want to improve the most as a musician is in a live context, I think that makes sense for me. I have no idea if that's already a thing. I tried to Google it. It seems like the name has been used for things before, festivals and whatnot, but maybe not in this context. I don't really particularly care. I think this is a method for me to try and, in the middle of the year, have a bit of a checkpoint and ideally see some progress between the first of the month set and the 31st of the month set. How many days are in July? So that's what I'm thinking right now. At this point, you're probably sick of hearing me talk or seeing my face for maybe the first time at this kind of scale or resolution, unfortunately. So I'm gonna stop talking and mess around on primarily the B case, because I bought a data bender when I realized after quite a bit of time with the Nautilus that Beads has a delay mode. I could, Starlab has a delay on it. I could make a delay out of the looper, Instruo, and Nautilus. Really, really fun delay for me. Very performative. I'm really enjoying it. But maybe I could use that space more wisely with a different kind of effect that I don't necessarily have in other places. So data bender, same company, same HP, slotted it in there. And now I have the problem of I want both in the case. And I'm not getting a bigger case. So push comes to shove right now, the module that is most up for getting voted off the island is the Polygogo, which I know I said recently in a video that I don't want to get a smaller oscillator. But the more I think about it, maybe I don't want an oscillator at all in that case. So I'm going to stop talking, and here's some sounds that are basically me specifically trying to push data bender and Nautilus into some weird spaces separately and then together to see how I want to handle that. I thought I was going to just keep one, the data bender or the Nautilus, but now I'm in the position of maybe keeping both and getting rid of an oscillator that I really enjoyed. That's that.